Welcome back to Sports Mecca, everyone. Now, Jacob, we have something a little bit better to talk about now. Tennessee Vol basketball. It's a better team than football, and it's a lot more positive. So let's jump right into it. They had a tough game on Friday night against the University of Kansas in Brooklyn as they lost 87-81 in OT. Let's check out these highlights. Jacob, give me something positive you saw in this game.
Yeah, and this is something you're going to see in these highlights. Grant Williams has become such a great passer out of the post. He's a guy that you can't afford to double team because anytime that you do that, Grant is going to find the open guy. And he's also right there. You saw Grant get to the free throw line. He's so good at picking up free throws.
Yes,
right now, I believe Grant Williams has taken over 27% of Tennessee's free throws on this season. So that's something that I was very pleased with. Another thing is going to be Lamonte Turner. This is a guy who had shoulder surgery in the offseason. People were not sure how fast he'd be able to come back from the injury, from the surgery. What a good pass by Grant right there. And another one right here with the kick out to Jordan Bone. But Lamonte's seeing Lamonte back on the floor, back at full speed, and shooting threes well, doing a lot of things really well, and being a good facilitator for the second team offense, really great to see. Yeah,
no doubt. And, you know, the team didn't respond well once Grant fouled out. That was the thing that really shot them over the edge, was when Grant fouled out. And that's the thing that they're going to have to deal with all season long, with Grant Williams being one of the best players in the country. He's going to have that target on his back of, you know, being the more aggressive player, facing the double teams. It was just an unfortunate day for the Vols. They just did not respond well. But I think, in my opinion, this team's going to respond greatly to how, you know, facing adversity, you know, losing your best player against one of the best teams in the entire country. Grant Williams averaging 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists per game. Losing a guy like that is huge, especially on the offensive side of the ball. That, you know, the Vols are doing well offensively. Defense has been the good part of the season so far. I really like the way they're playing inside. Admiral Schofield being really aggressive. But we saw on Friday night, not the best game from Admiral, you know, mentally wise, just kind of psyched himself out after not having a good start to the game. What is something you see moving forward for the Vols that they need to work on as they move down the line playing Gonzaga in about 2 weeks?
Right. This is something that Rick Barnes is going to drill into them. He's going to tell them to start at the play inside-out basketball. Get to the rim at first, shoot layups. Something we saw from Admiral. Admiral really struggled on Friday night shooting the three-point ball. He shot 2 of 8 from 3, but both of those were late in the game. He started off so cold from outside. But once Admiral started playing inside-out basketball, getting to the rim, using his strength because he's so big, bullying guys inside to get the shot falling, then they have to pack the paint a little bit tougher on you. You get to go back out. Then you have your jump shots open. This is a team with a lot of good three-point shooters, but what you want to do is start by play inside-out basketball, get to the rim, make the defense respect you inside instead of jacking up bad threes all game.
Yeah, and I like that idea because the team shot 26% all game long. And when you're shooting that poorly, you really got to make your money down low. And guys like Kyle Alexander, Admiral, Grant, even Derek Williams or Grant Williams, Derek Walker, thank you, Corey. You know, getting big guys like that down low, getting that inside-out play that you talked about. I really like that play from Tennessee. It's a good idea when we're playing Gonzaga. Guys are absolutely massive on the court. And when you're shooting 26% from 3, you have to do it right down low. I'm really looking forward to seeing this Tennessee team move forward as they have like the target on their back now. You're going to get everyone's best game. They're the number 6 team in the country now. You're going to get everyone's best game.
Yeah, 2 guys that really impressed me off the bench in that game. Obviously, Lamonte Turner is a bench player, and he was good coming off the bench for one of the first times this season. But 2 other guys are Yves Pons and John Fulkerson. Both those guys came in and played excellent defense for their entire time on the court. Pons is a big outside defender. He's so tough you can't really blow by him in the outside because he's such a good perimeter defender, but he's also an excellent post defender. Really could be one of the best defenders in the entire country, so it's great to have him on the Vols. Yves Pons is definitely a name to look out for. But John Fulkerson really impressed me on Friday with the way that he was able to stay with guys like Udoka Azubuike and Dedrick Lawson, 2 really tough, dominant inside players. But Fulkerson, he's quick on his feet. He's able to move around, and he's able to help facilitate the ball on offense. I think Fulkerson, he was a guy that I wasn't as high on entering the season, but I'm completely sold now. Keep Fulke in that rotation because he's been great.
Yeah, I thought this was a great game, too, for the Tennessee Volunteers. Think about it like this. Neutral site, high stakes on the line against a top 5 team in Brooklyn in overtime. What more experience does a team need, you know, moving forward, as this team is going to be a tournament team, a deep tournament team too. So having that experience that they take tonight or the other night and Friday night, and then when they play Gonzaga in a few weeks in Arizona, using those neutral floor sites, learning how to beat big teams like that is going to pay off huge come tournament time in March.
Yeah. Will, do you have any concern right now with the Vols' ability in big games? It's a team that didn't do well in the tournament last year. They lost early games the season last year against teams like Gonzaga and UNC. How are you feeling about them now after the loss to Kansas?
You know, I don't feel too bad because this team is basically juniors and seniors. Having that experience, having that leadership with Admiral and Grant, showing the younger players what it's like, to overcome adversity like this. I think it's a very good thing that they played these big games at the beginning of the season. Great job by Rick Barnes to schedule these early games, especially coming off such a disappointing loss last year against Loyola Chicago. So I think, take this experience, like I said, this past week, carry it over to Gonzaga, carry it over to SEC play. Just think of it like a volcano. It just builds up and then it explodes come tournament time. I like the experience. What do you think?
I agree with you to an extent. I am currently very worried about the team, their ability to score without Schofield or Williams on the floor. We saw this in overtime a lot because once Grant Williams fouled out, the team really struggled to do anything on offense other than give the ball to Admiral Schofield and let him bully his way to the rim. Jordan Bowden had a rough game. Bone had 15 points, but he didn't shoot the best. Lamonte Turner was streaky, and he's a streaky player, but he needs to be shooting more consistently if he's going to be the team's second or third option on the floor. So the team needs a lot of work, I think, with the guys outside of Williams and Schofield, because if one of those guys, God forbid, gets hurt, that could be a huge blow to the team if other guys aren't ready to step up in crunch time of these big games.
Yeah, and I like the depth that we have. You talk about John Fulkerson, being that guy that can step in, when players get gassed, players get hurt, players get fouled out. I like that idea of having John Fulkerson, Derek Walker, all those big guys that can kind of guard like the bigger parts of the floor when Admiral Schofield and Grant can't be down there.
Right.
That's a really good pick. That's all the time we have here today on Sports Mecca, ladies and gentlemen. We will see y'all next week for our last episode of the semester. Can you believe it?
Crazy.
Crazy.
Yves Pons is my king.
Yves Pons is the king. We'll see y'all later.